Let me show you what I'm working on and how these are going to come in handy. Hey, what's up YouTube? Dan the Fix-It Man. Got another quick video here for you. Now, I picked up these metric and standard ball hex bit sets a while back, and I just haven't had a need for them until today. So let's open these up and take a look, and then I'll show you what I'm working on and how this is going to come in handy. This is the metric, and that's the one that I'm going to need today. Now, you can see these are exactly as described. These are the ball and hex bit sets. And I'll be honest, this is my very first set of ball drive hex. I always kind of thought to myself that that would probably strip. Now, I understood the concept as far as this is somewhat universal. It allows you to get at a little bit of an angle into an Allen head fastener. I was always a little bit wary about maybe stripping that out. The fact that you wouldn't have as much of the surface driving on that Allen head bit. And these may not be the best in a high torque application, but it is something that can come in handy, and it's almost like a universal or a little bit of a wobble. Now, I do have a lot of these hex or Allen bits, and I use them quite often. These are just a lot faster and more convenient than an Allen wrench. Now, I'll use these with a 3/8 drive ratchet or sometimes a battery powered ratchet just to zip stuff off, and it goes a lot quicker. And I also do have these from Mayhew. These are the dual drive, really low profile bits, and these also are great. I've already been using these quite a bit. I did a little review video on these as well a while back. I'll put a link to that in the description for you. Now, unfortunately today, these are not going to work because the base is too wide for what I'm trying to do. Now, I do have some long shaft hexes, but it's too long. It's actually running into a shock tube, and so I really would have needed either a mid-length, or that's where this here is going to come in handy because it has that ball drive. And we'll go over to the car here in a minute and take a look. Also picked up the standard set just to have. I may not use this as much. And you can see this is just like the metric. Of course, it's just all the different standard sizes. I'll read them off to you real quick. 1/8, 5/32, 3/16, 7/32, 1/4 inch, 5/16, and 3/8. Now the sizes on the metric are 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, and 10. And the 5 is what I'm going to be using today because this just wasn't working. But let me take you over to the car and I'll show you exactly what I'm doing and why this is really going to come in handy. Okay, so right now what I'm trying to do is take off this parking brake motor so that I can manually turn this mechanism back in without having to use a scan tool to retract the parking brake on this 2017 Honda CR-V. Now what I need to do right here is take off this Allen head bolt right here. It's a really small bolt and it's a 5mm. You can even see it has a little cutout for a shaft, but unfortunately this doesn't fit properly. You can see the body of the socket here is causing interference. And if I were to get the longer versions, this shock tube is in the way and that would not work. Now the dual drives are great, but this is not the right application. This is just too short and stubby. It just doesn't fit in there because the body of this little motor is in the way. So that's where this ball drive end comes in handy. Take a look at this. Fits right in there and we still have some room. You can see what I mean about the shock tube being in the way, because if this was just a straight shaft, we wouldn't be able to get that in there maybe without forcing it. You know, maybe I could bend the shock tube a little bit or force it in there, but the ball drive just fits in there exactly like we need it to. Just a quick note on the metric here. The 3 smallest are 1/4 inch drive, the 6 and the 8 are 3/8 drive, and then this 10mm is 1/2 inch drive. So let's grab a 1/4 inch drive ratchet, jump on here, break this loose. And that felt fine. I did not feel at all like we were putting any type of undue stress on the fastener. Worked exactly like it was supposed to, and we got it out. On the other side, this one's a lot harder to get to. If I just had this, I really don't have a way to get this one in there, and I still wouldn't be able to fit my ratchet on that without some extensions and whatnot. And there's the other side. Piece of cake. Now we can easily pull off this parking brake motor and we can use a Torx bit to wind this mechanism back in. But this definitely came in handy and did exactly what it's supposed to do. I really like that. And there you go, you can see that they worked great. The end of this did feel nice and secure in that fastener, and I didn't really have any concern or worry about stripping that out. And that ball drive does give you the benefit of being able to approach that fastener with a little bit of an angle. Now, I still probably could have got the job done with a little L-shaped Allen wrench, but this is much faster and it's definitely my preferred method to be able to zip that off with a little ratchet. Now, this is a sponsored video in the sense that Mayhew did send these to me in exchange for this quick little unboxing and review video, but I gotta say I'm very happy with these and I'm happy to have these in my toolbox. It's not necessarily necessarily one of those everyday type of use tools, but definitely will come in handy when you need it, or if you get into a bind and you just can't get a straight shot to an Allen head fastener, these can really save the day. I hope you liked the video. Please give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you don't mind. That does help me out. I'll get a link in the description where you can pick up these exact same metric and standard ball hex bit sets as well. Thanks so much for watching, and good luck.